set up, and it was overwhelmingly the domination of the imperial powers. There's no justification, even a Security Council. Who was the original Security Council? Britain, which was there not because of the size of its own population, but because of its financial might and the strength of its colonies. It spoke for India, it spoke for Kenya, it spoke for South Africa, etc., etc., etc. Britain, France again, because it spoke for all the colonial people. So these were the huge powers. USA, because it was the new imperialist power, and increasingly has become now the strongest, because through World War I and World War II it undermined and took the others under its wing. And then China, when China was initially given a seat, who did they put there? They put Taiwan, because the US were very much involved in subverting the real liberation struggle and the communist struggle. They championed the reactionary right comprador regime of the Kuomintang of Chiang Kai-shek. And when they ultimately lost that civil war, they removed his government onto the province of Taiwan, which is a province of China. And since that time, which was briefly occupied by Japan even before then, and since that time, they recognized that right up until the 1970s as being the real Republic of China. So they called it the Republic of China. They set up their regime there. It had a very small population. You know, you got, at the time, I think there were like 400 million Chinese. Now they're obviously 1.4 billion. But they still recognized their little island of Taiwan as being the legitimate government. And so their stooge sat there. So it was another vote for USA on the Security Council. And the only one there was the USSR, because they couldn't any longer be ignored, having defeated, Hitlerite Germany. And so if the USSR vetoed things, then it just stopped the whole mechanism from working, and US withdrew from it. The one time when USSR walked out of deliberations was the time for the Korean War. So the Korean War was a UN war, because the USSR walked away and didn't vote on it, right? So that was Vietnam wasn't. So every time that the US couldn't get its way through the UN, it just ignored it.